I'm Todd Wolfson, and I am a musician and photographer here in town, and mainly photograph musicians. I had grown up around a lot of photographers like Philippe Halsman, Richard Avedon, Helmut Newton, who photographed a lot of movers and shakers of where they lived. And I loved Austin right away and saw that it had a lot of creative people and a lot of interesting people, and realized also that there wasn't really a photographer that catered to just that. So that's really what I did. I started to be, the person that photographed all of that. That was my concentration, to photograph the musicians, the artists, the choreographers, politicians, just different interesting people. I've been shooting in Austin really since maybe the mid-'80s. I moved here in '79, but I didn't really get my career going till like closer to the end of the '80s. But I started to shoot concerts that came through town, and I finally got to know some musicians and just some people, some muses, that were creative people to work with. And the thing I've always loved about Austin is it's very much a community where we all kind of have each other's back, so we all work really well together. People enjoy being photographed. They have creative ideas. I have creative ideas. So it's a lot of fun. I mean, that's why I'm a musician and a photographer, I think, because both those things go together to me. It's like they're both an organic process for me to work with wonderful people. And I've got to work with, all my favorite musicians that live here. One of the reasons that I got into photography in the first place was because my parents had great photo albums. So something very important to me is doing family photos. I love families. I love the fact that my photos could be on somebody's refrigerator or in a family album or up on their wall or whatever for years and years, and they're kind of a historical document of parts of that family for future generations. And that's something that I always had growing up, and I still enjoy having, some of my family archives. I find all that really interesting. So doing that kind of stuff for me is that's probably the most endearing part of what I do, is doing the family work and photographing, the everyday life of my friends. I'm just really thankful that I get to create with the people I get to create with. It's something, I think I just said, it's something I don't take for granted. I think it's wonderful.
I love him. To see more of Todd's work, head to toddvwolfson.tumblr.com.